Okay, this video is about something that is always a little bit tricky the first time you do it, but you just have to persevere. Watch this video several times if that helps. We are looking at equivalent fractions. The word equivalent means the same as, so two things that are the same. For example, 4 times 3 is the same as 2 times 6. They are equivalent, they both make 12. So we are looking for other fractions that are the same as a half. So if I colour in half of this shape, I have got 1 out of the 2 bits coloured in. I now want to know how many quarters are the same as a half. So if I look at this shape, how many would I have to colour in before I've coloured in half of them? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So in order to colour in half of them, I would need to colour in 2. 2 are green, 2 are not green, which means that 2 quarters is the same, is equivalent to 1/2. On this one, it's split into 6. So I want to know how many 6ths are the same as a half. So I want half of them to be green, half of them not to be green. Okay, I have now got 3 green squares and 3 white squares, which means that 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2. Again, with tenths, I want half of them to be green and half of them not to be green. So what's half of 10? Half of 10 is 5, so I'm going to colour in 5 green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them are green, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 of them are not green. That means all of these fractions are equivalent. If we look at the numbers a little bit more carefully, we can do some times tables to help us with this. 2 times 2 makes 4. If we do the same to the top number, 1 times 2, that makes 2. So when we're finding equivalent fractions, whatever we do to the denominator, we also do to the numerator. If we look at 1/2 and 3/6, how do I get from 2 to 6? Well, I times it by 3. 2, 4, 6, which means I have to times my top number, my numerator, by 3 as well. Well, 1 times 3 makes 3. To get from 2 to 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I have to times it by 5, which means I also need to times my numerator by 5. So whatever you do to the denominator, you do to the numerator if you're trying to find an equivalent fraction. So let's try that rule here. I've got 1/4 and I want to know how many 8ths are the same. Well, to get from 4 to 8, I have to times it by 4, 8, times it by 2, which means I have to do the same up here as well. I have to times it by 2. 1 times 2 is 2, which means I need to colour in 2 to be equivalent to 1/4. How would I get from 4 to 12? What do I times it by? 4, 8, 12. I times it by 3, which means I need to times my numerator by 3 as well. 1 times 3 is 3. Over here, how would I get from 4 to 20? What would I have to times it by? Well, we count up in our 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I've timesed it by 5. 1 times 5 is 5, which means I need to colour in 5 of them. Over here, I should have coloured in 3. This way, the exact same amount of each shape has been coloured in. All of these fractions are the same amount. If I got 1/4 of a cake, it would be the same as if I got 3/12 of a cake. It would be the same as if I got 5/20 of the cake. They are equivalent. So, if we wanted to know what was equivalent to this number, I want to know how many 12ths are the same as 2/6. I think, how did I get from 6 to 12? What did I times it by? Well, I count up in my 6's, 6, 12. I times it by 2, which means I also have to times this number by 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. These are equivalent fractions. They are the same. I would get the same amount of cake if I ate this much or this much. If I have got 3/5, I want to know how many 25ths would that be the same as? Well, I do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I've times that by 5. So I also need to times that by 5. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. These are equivalent. It works exactly the same if I only know the numerator and I don't know the denominator. So let's say I have got 2/8 or I have got 4 somethings. I don't know this number. How did I get from 2 to 4? Well, I times it by 2. So how do I get to my new number? I times it by 2. 8 times 2 is 16. So these fractions are equivalent. They are the same value. That is what you have to remember about equivalent fractions. Whatever you do to the denominator, do to the numerator. If you've times this by 2, times this by 2. If you've times it by 5, times it by 5. Okay?